Cost, huh? It ain't free. You know, take a look at it. The mortgage, it's raining outside, but you know you ain't getting wet. This costs. So show them the bills so they have an understanding of, okay, this stuff ain't free. That ain't free right there. That ain't free, man. Okay, what else? This is a good book, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. 3, let your child get a job as soon as possible. Dr. Boyce says these kids need to learn while they're young. If they start working, and even if they're not old enough to start working, he says, pay them to do little odd jobs around the house. Hey man, go fold these clothes, man. Go take the trash out. Go wash the dishes. And you know, you may pay them a little something. Now, most people believe that these are responsibilities and chores that you get because you live here. But I mean, you can get creative and figure it out. You know, I'm just reading the Dr. Boyce book. All right. 4, let your child contribute to their college expenses, even if you can pay them yourself. I think that's kind of cool, man. That is kind of cool. I mean, you know, if you're paying for it, you probably gonna make better grades, you know, because it's on your dime. And for those of us paying student loans right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I took college more seriously when I wasn't getting financial aid, when I had to pay for it, because I knew that if I failed this class, I was taking a financial L that I was not trying to take. Okay? Yeah, he's saying, you know, as a child, like, they could start contributing to their college fund if they know they're going to college. All right? 5, teach your child to balance a checkbook. That is so important. And you know, I don't know too many people who still write checks now, but even with your account, like, you gotta know how much money is in your account when you out here spending, so you don't get out here and max out in your funds and be out here looking stupid. You try to take somebody on a date and you think it's all good when it's time to pay, and you out there looking weak. Your date looking at you like, man, why I go out with him? He whack. Like, now I gotta pay. And now you looking stupid. And sometimes you can't recover from that, man. Okay. Number 6, give your child incentives to save. He's saying we need to promote saving. So watch this. Even if your child is young and doesn't have a bank account, maybe too young or whatever, you can be that bank. All right, so once they earn their money, all right, fam, you have the option to save your money. You put so much with me, every week it may gain a little interest. You explain interest to them. Hey, you let your money sit here, instead of $1, it might grow into 2. You know, depending on what percentage of interest. So kids have an understanding like, wait a minute. So I can spend, but if I save, you know, depending on what kind of accounts you have, I can have more by letting my money just sit here. This is some good stuff. This is some heat. Number 7, teach your child how to create a job so that he's not out here looking, he or she's not out here looking crazy. That way, if they get laid off or whatever, you know, they can still produce, you know, or they could just grow up to be entrepreneurs and not even want to work for somebody. Okay, watch this. It's something I highlighted. Our children should know how to spot opportunities to make money and to create channels for obtaining an income from that opportunity. That's great. That's some heat, man. And he breaks it down even more. But for the sake of time, I'm just trying to keep it whatever. But he's like, you know, find a need for people, learn how to maximize on that need, build a structure to where these people can come to you for that need, and in exchange, you know, you get a little bread for that. Okay? Chapter number 8, constantly communicate variation in economic outcomes as it pertains to educational attainment. When kids are younger, you know, they go to school and all that, and they always like, man, why do I have to go to school? I don't need this. You have to let them know that, hey, because even when my kids are teaching all that, I'm like, okay, you know, you cannot make the grades or whatever. You cannot learn this stuff. And it could be, you know, you need math. You need English because you need to learn how to speak to people. Because if you sound like an idiot, don't nobody gonna want to talk to you. Did you hear me? Don't nobody gonna want to talk to me. Talk to you. That's me using slang. But in real life, if you speak like an idiot, if you can't present yourself in a manner to where people want to listen to you, you may miss out on opportunities. That's why English is important. Math, you want to know how to count your money. Economics is so important. I feel like they should have drilled that in our kids. Or us, economics should have been an ongoing class. Not just a class you take for half a semester in high school after you've taken government or before you've taken government. Anyway, okay. Number 8, send your child to camp. Send your child to a camp, class, or any kind of activity that teaches money management and entrepreneurship. That is important because as grown folks, some of us have horrible money management skills right now. That plays a part in why we get evicted and other things and why you're going without, you know, because you would rather have went to the club instead of, you know, making sure your lights was going to stay on. So you was fly at the club, but now your apartment looking like this. Okay? It's important. Money management is important. And just knowing how to save and invest. That way, you know, if your job be like, man, we done with you. You can be like, oh, okay, all right, thank you for the opportunity, but I'll be okay. You know, and entrepreneurship, like he said, you know, like Dr. Boyce said, I mean, entrepreneurship is important because, I mean, like Dr. Boyce said in other chapters, because we don't own anything, we have to kind of find our fitting in other people's situations. And that's how we become angry black men and angry black women, because we're not getting the same opportunities as other cultures. And that's from a chapter I read yesterday, which I put a video up on. You can find that on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. And the last one, chapter 10. Teach your child how to value money without overvaluing it. Okay, money's important, but you don't want your child to be the one that's just sitting in front of, you know, just money, 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 money. All I want is money, 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 money. I don't care about time, spending time with the family. Money, 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 money. I just want to work, 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 get money. He's saying, nah, fam. You want to get that bread, but you still want to enjoy your family. You want to, you know, we go on a trip here. You can watch a movie, just spend time with your family, your community. There are other things more important than money. That's pretty much what he's saying. But it's important to have money. But that's it, man. This was a great chapter. This 15-minute video, I'm going to break it down for you so you don't have to sit through the whole 15 minutes if you choose to watch it. But chapter 16 is Why I Despise the NCAA. That's going to be a good one. And we only have 2 more chapters left. It's 17, so I'm probably going to knock that out in one day. But y'all know what it is, man. Bread Tuck Rob, 11 million after taxes, I am Black Royalty, Bread Tuck Gang forever. Y'all mucho, take it easy, H-Town all day.